finger bang, chicken wang, EGK, you can say Lil Pump, Lil Xan, imitate Lil Wayne.
That's what's wrong right now. Everybody trying to rap the same style with the, I don't know who created it, if it was Future or Migos, but all them sound the same. I said, me in the studio one night trying to do that. I'm like, man, cut this shit off.
Mumble rap.
I mean, in
Take the out of your mouth and speak clearly, young man. This mumble, speak clearly, let me hear what the you're saying.
Mumble rap entered the scene like a storm, and although some of these artists release songs with hard-hitting beats, that doesn't necessarily qualify them as true rappers. Many people view it as lazy and a serious step down from what hip-hop truly represents. Just take a look for yourself.
We what you call a mumble rapper. Just yeah. So you say yeah after everything and make it rhyme. It don't matter what it is. Like for real, you can say anything. I just went to the store. Yeah. Put a little. Yeah.
And it's no secret that the OGs in the game don't hold back when it comes to calling things out. Especially when someone like Rich the Kid starts talking wild, claiming the OGs are intimidated by them. That's when you know something's really off.
I can feel it, you know what I'm saying? You can feel it. Some other artists and artists that's been in the game, you know what I'm saying? They feel intimidated by younger artists coming in the game.
Legends like Snoop Dogg.
Gang, gang, slang. You ain't
Gang, they got to use that word. I'm speechless. Two goofballs in the pool.
Eminem.
So, finger bang, chicken wang, EGK, you can say Lil Pump, Lil Xan, imitate Lil.
Ice Cube.
I mean, you know, he definitely talking, he definitely rock.
Plenty of others have spoken up too, and rightfully so. When hip-hop legends see a new wave rising, they expect skill and real effort. If you're not bringing it, they'll say so. Snoop Dogg, for example, has never held back on criticizing the repetitive, shallow style of mumble rap. So when he and Kevin Hart reacted to viral TikTok clips from 2021, it wasn't long before Snoop had a reaction. One video showed the Island Boys singing in a pool, and neither Snoop nor Hart could hide how cringed out they were. They started cracking jokes right after it ended.
I'm an island boy, and I've been trying to make. Oh, I'm an island boy.
I'm a just island boy. I'm a just island boy.
I'm speechless. Two goofballs in the pool.
You know why I'm not speechless?
Why?
Because I'm an island.
Now the Island Boys, especially Fly, didn't take the roasting lightly. Fly caught wind of the segment and fired back, aiming most of his anger at Snoop. He even went as far as threatening him, saying if Snoop said that in real life, on sight I would fade. I would beat his... I swear to God on everything in my life I would. I swear to God if I ever see him, it's on sight.
On sight, I would have faded. I would have beat his ass on everything. I swear to God, my life, I would have. I swear to God. If I ever see him, it's...
Bold words, but Snoop, being the seasoned veteran and unbothered king, wasn't fazed at all. Instead of reacting with anger, he took it in stride and turned the whole thing into a joke, posting on Instagram with a playful jab, saying, "I don't want no smoke because," making it clear he wasn't taking the Island Boys seriously. Fans quickly reminded Fly and his brother that going after someone like Snoop Dogg was a losing battle. And it looked like the message landed because Fly eventually backed down and issued an apology.
Hey, my fault. I didn't mean to be mean to Snoop Dogg. I love Snoop Dogg. You know, it's just, he's an inspiration, you know. He kind of put me down with the way he was talking about me. So, you know, at the end of the day, I am.
Then there's Eminem, who's never been one to hold back when it comes to mumble rap. To say M isn't a fan of the new wave is an understatement. He can't stand it, and he made that crystal clear on his album, Kamikaze, where he went on a lyrical rampage, calling out mumble rappers left and right.
I can see why people like Lil Yachty, but not me though. Not even dissing it, just ain't.
From taking jabs at Lil Yachty to mockingly interpolating
Bing dig, eye drops, paint mids, cyclops, they big, iPod, Maybach, my pop.
Raindrops, drop top, smoking no cooking.
Migos hit Bad and Bougie, to even mimicking Lil Pump's Gucci Gang flow.
So, finger bang, chicken wang, EGK, you can say Lil Pump, Lil Xan, imitate.
Just to highlight how silly he thought it was. Of course, the younger rappers didn't stay quiet. Lil Pump, for one, jumped online to trash talk Eminem, claiming nobody listens to him anymore.
Hey, Eminem, you is lame as hell. Ain't nobody listening to your old you lame as
But of course, that statement didn't sit right with anyone, especially when you compare their streaming numbers. Eminem's fan base is massive, and stacking up the stats made it obvious that Pump was way out of his depth. Eminem, never one to let things slide, responded in classic fashion by quoting his own lyrics from Book of Rhymes on Twitter. What made it even funnier was that by early 2021, Lil Pump seemed to develop selective amnesia about the whole beef. When asked about it, he acted like he didn't even remember what happened.
Eminem, Lil Pump, like what was that about?
Who?
Eminem.
I don't remember that.
But if we're talking rap beefs with mumble rappers, the MGK, Machine Gun Kelly, situation probably stands out the most. It all kicked off when MGK tweeted that Eminem's daughter Haley was hot, and if you know anything about M, you know his daughter is off limits. That tweet didn't sit right with him, and even though MGK tried to move on, Marshall wasn't having it. Things escalated when MGK dropped No Reason, where he made a sly reference to Eminem's Rap God. That was all M needed to clap back with Not Alike, a scathing diss that ripped into MGK over the Haley tweet and more.
And I'm talking to you, but you already know who the fuck you are, Kelly.
MGK, to his credit, didn't back down. He fired back with Rap Devil, a bold response that left everyone stunned. He actually had the nerve to go after one of the greatest to ever do it. In the track, MGK accused M of being out of touch, called his last 4 albums trash, and even threw in a jab about possibly hooking up with M's ex-wife, Kim.
Oh, crazy. Yeah, Haley, you right. Dad's always mad, cooped up in the studio, yelling at the mic.
But you already know Eminem wasn't about to let that slide. He came back even harder with Kill Shot, a diss track that completely tore MGK apart. From mocking his career to breaking down his arguments line by line, M made sure there was no doubt about who really won that battle.
Out petty who with your corny lines. Slim your roll. Out Kelly ooh, but I'm 45 and I'm still out selling you.
Later, M addressed the beef in an interview, sharing his side of the story and making it clear he had no regrets about how it all unfolded. MGK, on the other hand, ended up pivoting to rock music not long after. Then there are the mumble rappers who go out of their way to disrespect the OGs. Take Lil Xan, for example. He's the guy behind the hit, Betrayed. But he caused a major stir when he had the nerve to call Tupac's music boring in an interview. As if that wasn't enough, he rated Pac a 2 out of 10 on what he called a clout meter. For those who don't know, clout is basically a way to measure someone's influence or cool factor. Obviously, this didn't sit well with anyone who respects Pac's legacy. Twitter exploded, with people from all generations coming out to roast him. One tweet summed it up perfectly. People shouldn't be shocked about Lil Xan disrespecting Tupac. You all enabled these little culture vultures to get too comfortable. Another user didn't hold back either, saying, "This coming from a rapper named after a drug? Tupac was a poet studied in university classes, something you'll never know or have." Realizing he had seriously messed up, Lil Xan tried to make amends by performing Tupac's iconic California Love at one of his shows, but the damage was already done. Fans weren't buying it, and the backlash kept growing. Things got even more intense when Xan nearly ended up in a shootout in downtown Los Angeles. He and his girlfriend Annie Smith were at a gas station when someone recognized him and brought up the Tupac comments.
Hey, homie, you a Yeah, that's why, yeah.
Xan didn't say much at the time, but later admitted on Instagram that he pulled out a gun to protect himself. He claimed, "The media's gonna twist what just happened at a gas station. I was about to be attacked and had to defend myself. F all you old heads still talking about that Tupac live your own life and stop picking on a kid." A week later, in an interview, Xan tried to backpedal, saying, "I never dissed Tupac. They edited the clip to make it look like I hate all old school hip-hop."
Thing wrong against Tupac. I never dissed him because they edited the clip to make it look like I hate all old school.
But by then, it was too late. He had already cemented his place as one of the most disrespectful newcomers in the industry. Then there was XXXTentacion, who didn't shy away from controversy either. During a heated January 2018 interview with DJ Academics, Pac's name came up, and X got visibly irritated. "I'm better than Tupac, bro," he said. "Please don't compare me to him. Please don't."
"I'm better than Tupac, bro. Please don't compare me to him. Please don't compare me to him. Please don't. Tupac can't make..."
As you can imagine, fans and critics alike weren't having it. One fan took to Twitter saying, "X does this, X says that, X takes a shh at McDonald's. Just give it up already. No one gives a about this weak woman beater or his BS opinions." Another broke it down more thoughtfully, saying, "I get that music changes over time, but what this kid doesn't understand is that Tupac spoke to a whole different generation and era. No rapper today can compare unless they lived through 1996 and knew what was happening back then. These guys just say stuff for attention." One fan didn't hold back at all, calling X the most clownish rapper today. Then there's Lil Yachty, who's also made it clear he doesn't care for old-school hip-hop, and has no problem saying so. Yachty stirred up controversy in the hip-hop community with his dismissive attitude toward rap legends, even going on record saying he thinks Biggie is overrated, practically sacrilegious in hip-hop culture. And if that weren't enough, Yachty admitted he's not familiar with Tupac or Biggie's catalogs and couldn't even name 5 songs from either of them.
Drake is better than Tupac and Biggie. They ain't got shit on Drake. They ain't got shit on Drake. They don't have shit on Drake. What can they do that Drake can do? Drake rapping.
His excuse was that he was busy doing other things and didn't see learning hip-hop history as a priority. "But if I do it my way and earn so much money, why should I do it the way everyone says it should be done?" he said, shrugging off the criticism. But if we're talking about disrespect, Kodak Black might just take the crown. He's thrown shade at both Tupac and Biggie in a way that made it clear he doesn't care about the legacies of these icons. Kodak started with some offhand comments, but then doubled down during an Instagram live session. He outright claimed he's better than Tupac and Biggie, even going as far as to say the only reason they're considered legends is because they're no longer alive.
People trying to say, "Oh, I can't put myself in a category with Tupac." Actually, I'm better than them. You know why? Because I live what I rap about. Them niggas was just like, them niggas just legends.
As expected, those comments didn't sit well with anyone who respects the history of the genre, and Kodak's pattern of stirring up drama didn't stop there. He also took shots at Lil Wayne, calling him washed up and irrelevant. Wayne may have chosen to stay silent, but his daughter Regina Carter wasn't about to let it slide. She clapped back, saying Kodak's new album sounded like it was trying to copy her father's old style. Next up, let's talk about Ola Runt, who had a run-in with none other than Gucci Mane. Gucci is known for his no-nonsense attitude and doesn't hesitate to put people in their place when they step out of line. Back in 2019, Gucci saw potential in Ola, a rising rapper from Atlanta, and decided to sign him. Gucci even jumped on a few tracks with him to give his career a push. But things started to go sideways during an Instagram live session. While the two were chatting, Gucci mentioned he might finish a song they were working on later that night. Instead of playing it cool, Ola started acting up, talking wild, and pressing Gucci about finishing the track. And Gucci, being Gucci, wasn't about to let that slide. Right there on the live, he checked Ola and made it clear that kind of disrespect wouldn't fly.
Nah, we ain't gonna do all that on live, man.
Man, gonna tell me, hey, run the business, don't try to run my life. What kind of time you gonna that wrong, man?
No, man, hell nah, I wasn't saying.
You'd think Ola would take the hint and cool off, but nope, he kept up the same attitude. Eventually, Gucci had enough and dropped him from the label altogether. Since then, Ola's career hasn't exactly taken off, and it's clear that going up against Gucci Mane was a terrible move. This wasn't the first time Gucci had to check someone, though. There was another incident at a radio station meet and greet, where Gucci was signing autographs and taking pictures with fans. Out of nowhere, a guy walked in and started freestyling loudly, trying to get Gucci's attention.
It was up all way one. I ain't talking about my young can't nigga cut their dog.
Bad timing doesn't even begin to cover it. Gucci wasn't in the mood for any of that. He quickly shut the guy down, telling him nobody wanted to hear his raps right then and there. The dude looked crushed And honestly, it was a lesson in knowing when to read the room.
If you ain't know, that's right now. Not now, bro. This ain't no freestyle.
I thought you knew.
But Gucci doesn't just put up-and-comers in their place. He's gone toe-to-toe with rap legends, too. Back in 2005, he found himself in one of the most infamous beefs in hip-hop history with Jeezy. Things escalated when Jeezy dropped a track and put a $10,000 bounty on Gucci's infamous ice cream cone chain. That bounty led to a wild situation where 5 guys showed up at Gucci's place trying to snatch the chain. It turned physical, and Gucci ended up fighting them off. In the heat of the moment, he grabbed his gun and fired a shot, hitting one of the attackers, Pookie Lock. A few days later, Pookie Lock's body was found behind a middle school. Gucci turned himself in and claimed self-defense. The courts agreed, and he walked free on those grounds. But Gucci didn't let it end there. He dropped a diss track targeting both Jeezy and Pookie Lock, making it clear he wasn't about to forget what happened. Fast forward to 2020, and the beef reignited during a versus battle between Gucci and Jeezy. The two went head-to-head playing their biggest hits, but Gucci took it further by performing Truth, his diss track that directly references the Pookie Lock incident. After finishing the song, Gucci doubled down, telling Jeezy he's still smoking on Pookie Lock, a blatant reminder of their violent history.
You what? Put that in the dirt. I tell you what. Smoking on Pookie Lock tonight.
Jeezy tried to keep things cool, suggesting they move past it since it had been 15 years, but Gucci wasn't having it. He told Jeezy straight up that if he couldn't perform Truth, there was no point in doing the versus battle at all. The tension was real, and Jeezy looked visibly uncomfortable, clearly not expecting Gucci to come that hard. Now, let's switch gears and talk about Trav, a former G-Unit member who got checked by 50 Cent. Everyone knows 50 doesn't back down from conflict and is always ready to call someone out. One notable moment happened on stage with Meek Mill. They were performing when, out of nowhere, 50 turned to Trav, said something, and then pushed him away.
Listen, hold up, stop the music, hold on. Hey, listen, 50 though.
The tension was thick, and it was clear 50 wasn't joking around. Meek Mill and others on stage quickly stepped in to calm things down, with Meek even saying he and Trav were like family. Thankfully, Meek managed to defuse the situation before it escalated, but it served as a reminder that 50 isn't someone to mess with. In another instance, 50 was out having dinner with Nicki Nicole, just minding his business, when an up-and-coming rapper ran up on him, upset that 50 wasn't listening to his music. Things got heated as the guy started squaring up, asking if 50 was going to hit him. He kept pressing, telling 50 to check out his Instagram, and when 50 still wasn't interested, the rapper accused him of being unfair. The whole thing was caught on camera, with the rapper's friend filming it, clearly hoping to create a viral moment. 50 firmly put the guy in his place, letting him know that this kind of aggressive approach wasn't going to get him anywhere. Luckily, no punches were thrown, but the clip went viral anyway. The rapper later tried to milk the moment by posting a video on Instagram, challenging 50 to a fight and hoping to use the attention to promote his music.
Music, I salute you, feel me? But when I approached you, I was like, yo, I want you to look at my Instagram. That was it. Boy, you was getting gangster, my hey, don't fly over here.
And then there's Offset, who had a backstage run-in with none other than Jay-Z. While most people today see Jay as a billionaire businessman and hip-hop mogul, he still carries that edge from back in the day. In 2018, a video surfaced showing Jay pressing Offset backstage. There was no audio, but you could clearly see Jay walking Offset down while Beyoncé stood in the background, silently watching. Rumor has it the tension was over a track Offset was planning to make for Cardi B called She's My Beyoncé. Neither Jay nor Offset ever spoke publicly about what happened, leaving fans to speculate. Whatever went down, it's clear Offset still respects Jay-Z. Even though Jay checked him, it didn't seem like something Offset held a grudge over. The video and the surrounding rumors only reinforced what everyone already knew. Jay-Z is still someone you don't mess with, no matter how long he's been in the game.